Hi, this is Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. Today we are joined from, I believe it is her home, her brother's home. I'm not exactly sure whose home she's in. Marie is with us today. We had Marie Miller on a couple of weeks ago. We tried to make this work, but technically things didn't work out. So we've got her today. Finally, we can catch up with Marie Miller. It's great to have you with us. Marie Miller, welcome to Border Crossings.
Oh, it is so great to be here.
Now, where are you? Are you in Virginia right now? Are you in the Shenandoah Valley where you're from, or where are you?
Pretty close. So right now I'm in Falls Church. I live in Arlington with another brother, but I am at the home of the better technologically brother right now. So yes, helping me out. This
Are your other brothers musically inclined? Are you a musical family?
Yes, I am from a musical family. I'm the only person who is crazy enough to do this full time, but everyone plays.
Now, why did you decide to go into music? What is it that drew you to this as a career choice?
Yeah, I have always loved performing, even at a very, very young age, and have never um, had stage fright before. Just thought this is home. Stage is home. I've always loved it, and music moved me from a really early age as well. I would just feel so pulled and inspired when I would hear music, and so I just knew I had to be part of it. And once I started, it just made sense to keep going.
And you signed a contract. I'm assuming I have the timing right. About 10 years ago, you released your debut EP in 2017 with Curb and had quite a bit of success. But then you decided to make a major change. You left Curb and decided to go independent. Why did you leave the label? I mean, most people aspire to get signed by a label versus leaving the label.
Right. Well, I had been with the label for a long time. I got signed just sort of figuring out what was my sound. And as I got older, I became more acquainted with and fell more in love with bluegrass music and folk music.
And so the new album, which is called Little Dreams, how does that sound differ from your last EP that was out?
Yes, so it's definitely folkier. I've got a lot of mandolin in it and an instrument called the bouzouki, which is basically just a big mandolin, a lower mandolin. Um, I did it with a wonderful producer named David Wimbish, who is can plays tons of instruments: banjo, guitars, drums, bass, strings. And so we were able to create to just the two of us the whole record, which is so different than what I did before. It was very uh, just very creative, but also there was just a lot of control for me, right? It's just him and I doing everything. And so yeah, definitely a stroke of independence. And I think you can hear it.
We've got Marie Miller with us here on Border Crossings, and she has a new album that is out in March. Little Dreams is the name of the album. And would you mind doing a song from the album? I'd love to hear some music.
I would love to.
What are you going to do for us?
I'm going to play you a song called Homeland. And this is the first track off the album. It was inspired by Lord of the Rings. It's about
Oh,
being brave and getting out of your comfort zone, which I hope is comforting for all of us doing that this year.
all right. Let's check it out. Here's Marie Miller. That was a great song. I really like that song. That's from the new album. That's on Little Dreams.
Yes. Yeah.
And you said it was inspired by Lord of the Rings. Are you a sci-fi fan?
I am. I love epics more even than fantasy. I just love the idea of uh, kind of people, the ordinary people, being challenged to do extraordinary things. That's always been just a line of fiction that I've just loved, and so fell in love with Lord of the Rings really early on.
Mm. So is the album Little Dreams, is there reality on there? Is this all fiction, all the songs? Is there a commonality? Is this a concept album? What's going on this new album?
Yeah, I would say for a concept, even the title track, which I'm going to play for you, "Little Dreams," is about believing in yourself when it doesn't feel good. And so I love those moments that we get where we feel like we're living our dreams, things are going right, and it's easy to be confident in the things that you feel like you've been created to do and what brings you joy. And then there's many more moments where we feel like we're supposed to be doing something and we think it could bring good to the world and it's the right, and then everything is also falling apart at the same time. And so it's about believing in your dream when it's not easy. And so I've always hoped that this album was a place of comfort for yeah, for dreamers all over the world.
Now, you have been associated with Christian music, the Christian
Mhm.
music scene, the Christian music magazines have given you high praise and reviews. You've done well in the Christian music charts. Would you call yourself a Christian music performer?
No, what I say is I'm an artist who is Catholic, a Catholic Christian. My songs are about relationships and friendships. Obviously, a super important relationship in my life is my relationship with God, and so He's gonna get in there just because that's I'm telling my heart. But I've always felt like to for me anyway, to label myself something um wouldn't allow me to perform exactly what I would like to do. And so I love just playing at clubs and festivals. And so yeah, that's what I'd say. An artist who's a Catholic.
Hmm. And you did get to perform for the Pope.
I did. I did. Yeah, it was so crazy. I got a phone call and they said, "Hey, Mark Wahlberg is going to host an event. Jim Gaffigan will be performing, Aretha Franklin, Andre Bocelli. Would you like to open the show for Pope Francis in Philadelphia?" I was like, "That sounds like a Saturday night for me, like a normal Saturday night. Yeah, I'll do it." And yeah, well, I don't think I'll be able to beat that one.
Now, I did see on your last EP, which was 7 years ago, and I want to ask you about that. Why the long break? But on the last album, you had a song called "6'2". What is the relevance of that? Why did you know somebody that's 6'2", or what was the motivation of that?
So I didn't know anyone who was 6'2" when I wrote the song. Now I know that height exactly. I can be walking in a grocery store. I'm like, he's 6'2". And when I was when I was 15 and wrote this, I had no idea. And it's been such a gift of a song because really, usually if somebody has heard of my music, it's because of 6'2". It was on Dancing with the Stars and
Mhm.
pop radio, and it's been yeah. But I'm talking about writing serious music here to you, and this is a song about not being too picky with the guy you date and then giving the list. And so I have had a lot of success with that song. I've also been teased a lot. And also, I actually think yesterday I got a lot of slipping into the DMs from, sweet young men all over the internet saying, like, "Do you know I'm 6'2"?" And I'm like, "Do you know that's not everything to me?" Okay. But I actually, to this day, still get those. Got one yesterday.
Well, I hate to be cliche, but Marie, I am 6'2".
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, but I'm not lying. Anyway, so 7 years ago, you put
Mhm.
out your EP. Why did you wait 7 years?
So yeah, so I had an EP that came out, and then the full length, which we talked about
Mhm.
before, and then Little Dreams. And one of the reasons why it took so long was because of the record label and our push and pull with uh, sending in songs that I thought were profoundly beautiful and important to sing, and that they didn't love. And so it took a very long time to get Letterbox, which was the album after the EP.
All right, Marie Miller's with us. Would you do another song for us?
Yes. I'm actually going to do a song uh, that is not on the album. It's sort of an extension of the album. You talked about how long. Why did it take so long? This is the great thing about being an independent artist, is that you get to say, this is coming out. And I wrote a song called Brighter Days. And believe it or not, it was on Teen Mom a couple times, MTV's Teen Mom. And it's a song about having hope and continuing on. So I think it's, although it wasn't as the first group of songs, I think it works perfectly for the album.
All right, we're going to check it out. Marie Miller joins us right now, live on Border Crossings.
When it feels like the seasons never change, the days lost their meaning along the way. Feels like you're losing your way in the storm. Everything holding you together is torn. Brighter days, brighter days. I know we've got brighter days ahead. And soon enough, our luck will change. So don't go and give up just yet, 'cause I know we've got brighter days ahead. I close my eyes, I see a clearing in the sky. For a moment I rest easy in my mind. And all that we're dreaming of will slowly come true. Everything fading will come into view. Brighter days, brighter days. I know we've got brighter days ahead. And soon enough, our luck will change. So don't go and give up just yet, 'cause I know we've got brighter days ahead. Brighter days, brighter days. I know we've got brighter days ahead. Soon enough, our luck will change. So don't go and give up just yet, 'cause I know we've got brighter days ahead.
That's Marie Miller with a beautiful song here on Border Crossings on the Voice of America. And so when you get your inspiration for these songs, it sounds like the inspiration is very personal to you.
It is very personal. I'm not good at writing about things that I don't really truly care about, which is different. In Nashville, you can do that, right? You can 9 to 5 and say, hey, let's talk about what maybe somebody else thinks about or feels. And then they kind of get together and co-write. And every time I would get in one of those rooms, I was just like, but I don't understand. And so, yes, everything, if you're basically reading my diary, when you listen to my songs, which is kind of awkward, but that's how it is.
Wow. Well, that is really nice that you would open your soul, open yourself up to people like that. And I'm sure you're an inspiration to a lot of young musicians, who enjoy your music and your writing style. And you mentioned that, the last song that you had done, and also the one we talked about before, 6'2", got a lot of play and a lot of exposure on the TV. And so what does it feel like when you're watching TV or a film and there you are, you hear your song?
Oh, I love it so much. I really do love it so much. And it just reminds me of how much music has shaped me and has challenged and healed me and gotten me through. And so when I hear it in a film or just even, I mean, hearing it on the radio. And I just think I get to be a small part, but a part of somebody's day. And, the song I just played, Brighter Days, I got a message saying, my husband died a couple months ago, and I just needed to hear this. And that is exactly why I do what I do.
Do you do much international touring?
I have played in Denmark and Germany. And that was awesome. I was supposed to go to Germany in July. So hopefully go back. There's some great festivals out there, and they love folk music, American folk music. So I'm
Yes, yes. I think that people, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you've had more exposure with the international audiences that I have, but I think that what I'm hearing from artists I interview is that the international audiences are more open-minded to different styles of music and not as confined as radio airplay tends to be here in the United States, where you put in a box. But the people that go to shows there are kind of, they can go to hip hop shows, they can go to folk shows, they can go to all kinds of shows, and they also listen to the lyrics more closely. Is that true? Do you find that?
I did find that Germans are, I was also in Bavaria, so there's less English speaking. And so we had a translator. It was really funny, of course, to sing 6'2" because it talks about blonde hair and blue eyes, which is all of Germany, basically. So I just it was funny to watch the interpreter be like, and then they're like, ha ha ha. But in Denmark, especially, there's more English speakers, and they're just like every line, and your ego is stroked because you're like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Must be rewarding when they know the words to your songs, even though they don't speak English as a language, as their first language. But yeah, we're on in Germany, so you're being seen by your fans and followers there. So hopefully they'll come out and see you when you reschedule the stop in Germany or wherever it is you go around the world. And so when you are on the road, it's interesting because you're doing folk music. How would you classify your music? What do you call Marie Miller's sound? What do you to put a label on it if you could?
I call it folk pop. Some people would say folk Americana, but I think that I have a lot of pop sensibilities melodically. And so yeah, I think that that I try to draw from the traditions of Americana folk music, kind of giving allegiance to our music, our culture's music, but also moving forward with the pop sensibilities and melodies. I just like the old and the new. That's what
because you have toured with or opened for the Backstreet Boys and Andy Grammer, and you wouldn't consider them necessarily in the folk sound of music.
Right. Yeah, I've done a lot of touring with. Yeah, I toured with American Idol, Chris Allen, and Five for Fighting a bunch. And yeah, none of those artists would be considered in the folk America. But I've also done a lot of those festivals and played with some wonderful folk artists. And so I just like a lot of things. And so I'm happy to mix it up.
And I like to find out, because I know this quarantine has affected especially people in the music business. It is difficult to do what you do without the limitation of no interaction with your fans, no live connection. So how are you handling this? How are you getting through all of this COVID stuff?
Yesterday, I was talking to someone and sort of, I was almost embarrassed to say, I said, what a decadent society that I should feel so sad that I can't do what brings me so much joy, to complain about not being able to perform. And he was so kind back. He said, beauty is essential to life. And he's like, so don't beat yourself up for being so sad that you can't create beauty for others, and I know that we have streaming. I know that we have videos. I'm doing all that. I love hearing from everybody over social media. But I have to be honest with you. Yeah. I mean, especially the last couple weeks, and just, like I said, my soul is shaped like a performer. And so I terribly miss the traveling and the new people and the making music live, because there's nothing like that. So I'm excited for that to come back.
The new album is called Little Dreams. March is the special month. March 27th is the exact date. Any reason you picked March 27th to release the new album?
I don't know. My wonderful distributing company. So I went independent, and then I gathered this beautiful team of a great PR company, and I have Tone Tree does all my digital releases and helps me get stuff on playlisting and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was just one of those like, you got to pick a Friday in March, and I thought, all right, let's do it. But I love, my mom always says, and I was born in the spring, but she says it more in a spiritual way. She is, you were born in the spring. And so good things always happen to me in the spring. So that was probably why it had to be the spring, but I'm not sure why it was March 27th.
And we're going to make some time for one more song. If you would be so kind as to sing something else for us.
Yes, I'm going to sing the title track, Little Dreams, which is for all you dreamers out there.
Afraid? No, I'm not afraid. Even though I'm tired, even though I'm lost, well, things aren't going well. I've forgotten my own name, but there's one light blue flame still inside of me. These are my little dreams, a thousand kites on a string, just trying to knock the wind right out of me. But I'll die dreaming little dreams. And you, oh, you didn't understand. And when you close your eyes, you couldn't see what matters to me. This means everything. It's the reason why I came. It's the reason why I'll stay when you leave. These are my little dreams, a thousand kites on a string, just trying to knock the wind right out of me. But I'll die dreaming little dreams that only I can see, that I'll believe in till they touch the sky. These are my little dreams, a thousand kites on a string, try and knock the wind right out of me. But I'll die dreaming, I'll die dreaming, I'll die dreaming.
Marie Miller, Little Dreams, the title track from the new album. I love it. Do you dream a lot? Do you get songs in your dreams? I mean, why did you call it Little Dreams?
Well, the lyric is a thousand kites on a string. Just try and knock the wind right out of me, but I'll die dreaming little dreams. And I think we can get stuck on, I want to be the president of the United States. I want to be Miley Cyrus. I want to be, but it's like your dream may not be to be the most famous person in the world. It might be to be an incredible mother or a chef or a bus driver. Like, dream, and don't be afraid to dream little. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I just think that fame and like knowing right now in our culture is so important, and tons of money and tons of everything. And it's just like in the quiet is when we find ourselves. So,
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Border Crossings. It's been great to have you, to meet you, to finally get you on. And please do come by the studio once this is all behind us, because you're in Virginia, we're in DC, so we're just down the road.
I would absolutely love that. Thank you.
Yeah, it'd be much easier to do this in a studio in a normal environment. Thank you so much, Marie Miller, for joining us today on Border Crossings. It's been great to finally catch up with you. The new album is called Little Dreams, and it is now available. My name is Larry London, and before I go, I would like to thank our brand new affiliates. We have the folks at TVRI in Indonesia who are tuning in. So hello, Indonesia. Salamat to everybody. Thank you for tuning in to TVRI, and also our new affiliate in Ethiopia, Ahadu TV. Thank you very much for watching, and this is Border Crossings. My name's Larry London.